Hi everyone, and welcome to another Doctor Who figure review by me, Mega Shots, and today I'll be reviewing another Series 5 figure, and it is the Underhenge Dalek from The Big Bang. Now, as a lot of you will already know, this figure was originally released back in October last year in the Toys R Us exclusive Underhenge figure set, which featured 6 figures including this one, but the version I have here is the Forbidden Planet exclusive single carded version. Now, this is just a re-release. There are no differences between this one and the other one as far as I know, and even though it might not be different, I still think it is a really nice figure, and I'm really happy that I finally have it, because I was starting to think about getting the Underhenge set, and then this came out, so I just thought, oh, I'll go for the single carded Underhenge Dalek instead of buying a set of figures I already have for a exclusive figure. So before I start going into detail about the figure, I'm going to show you some pictures of the packaging it came in. Okay, so here we have the front. It's just basically back to normal Series 5 figure packaging. A lot different to the Pandorica Wave packaging, because obviously this is just a figure on its own basically. It's not part of a special wave or anything. In the top corners it tells you a little bit about the figure, and then you've got the big plastic bubble containing the figure in the middle, along with the card which has the new Doctor Who logo and also the name of the figure. On the side of the packaging it also has another new Doctor Who logo, also the name of the figure. And if we take a look at the back, we can see a mixed wave of figures. Now, I'm not sure if this is really actually a wave or just various Series 5 figures from different waves last year put onto the back of the packaging here, but it does look as if it might be a wave of different figures from various Series 5 waves. But obviously, if this Underhenge Dalek is part of that wave, you won't be able to get anywhere apart from Forbidden Planet. And then at the bottom, you've got the same usual helpful product and company information, along with a holographic sticker logo this time. And that is all for the packaging. Okay, so here we have the Underhenge Stone Dalek. Now, as I said before, there aren't any differences between this version and the Underhenge Toys R Us exclusive figure set version. Now, I'm not actually 100% sure on that. There might be some tiny little differences between this one and that one, but they do pretty much look the same. And first of all, I'm going to talk about the detail and the sculpt of this figure. Now, let's start off by taking a look at his head. Now, on top of the head we can see some little specks of plastic which are meant to look like rubble, because in The Big Bang, when we saw the Underhenge Daleks, which had been turned to stone, there were lots of bits of rubble on them, and it does feature all the same detail that we'd expect on any other Series 5 Dalek figure, like the ring going around the head and the highly detailed eye stalk, which has this section in the middle, and then the big bit at the end where the pupil is. And on the neck here we can see all 4 sections with all the holes going around. And if we go further down, we can take a look at his big scary weapons, which thankfully have been turned to stone, so this Dalek won't be exterminating me or any other YouTubers today. And the exterminator gun is good. It's just completely grey now, so you can't see the section here, which is normally painted black on the other Series 5 Dalek figures, so that bit there just blends in, but you can still see it a little bit. And the sucker arm is, as normal, same length as the exterminator gun, well, just about. And here we can also see some little specks of plastic which are meant to look like rubble. Now, the base is also as normal, with the usual columns of spheres going around until you get to the back, where there's this big box which is for some kind of Dalek weapon. And as I said before, I would really like to find out what the weapon actually is. I bet it's probably some type of gun or cannon. Also on the base we can see even more of the little specks of rubble, and I think these little specks of rubble are really good on these Underhenge figures, because they give the Underhenge figures a really good stone-like texture, which is quite important, because I mean if the Underhenge figures were just painted grey, they wouldn't really feel as if they're made from stone. And if this Dalek figure was just painted grey to look as if it's been turned to stone, it would probably just feel normal. But if I do it now, I can feel lots of little bumps where there's little bits of rubble, and I think that's really good and very realistic. So it's really good that Design Works have done that with these Underhenge figures. And then we get to the bottom part of the base, which is not detailed at all because it's just completely flat all the way around, and then you have the wheels at the bottom so it can go backwards and forwards. Now, as I just pointed out, the detail on this Underhenge Dalek figure is just the same as the detail on any other series side Dalek figure, because obviously it is made from the same sculpt, which I don't think needs any improvements. And I think they've done really well with the paintwork on this figure. The colour that they've used for the stone effect is really good, and I really like the little specks of rubble on it to give it that realistic stone-like texture. I do have something that I think would have been better about this figure, which I'm going to talk about in the final minutes of this video. Okay, so Mr. Dalek's head can turn 360 degrees. His eye stalk can move up and down, but as you can see, this one is really quite loose. A lot more loose than the eye stalks on any other of the series side Dalek figures that I have. His exterminator can move around, as well as the sucker arm, and there are also wheels at the bottom, so he can go backwards and forwards, but he moves on his wheels a lot more better on smooth floors. And overall, I think the Underhenge Stone Dalek is a really nice addition to my collection. I really, really like this figure. It has a really nice realistic stone texture. It has all the detail that it needs with a perfect sculpt, and the articulation is fine as well. And out of 10, I give the Underhenge Stone Dalek a very well earned 9 out of 10. It's an excellent figure for so many reasons to me. However, I do think it would have been better if they perhaps painted the eye stalk pupil, because as a lot of you will know, there was a Dalek that restored its power in the Big Bang, but then there was 2 others that didn't come back to life. So I do think it would have been better if perhaps instead of this one being a re-release, it could have been a new variant with a painted eye stalk, because then if it did have a painted eye stalk, we could do a lot more scene recreations from the Big Bang. So the version that we have here is pretty much dead, but it's still a really nice figure, and for those of you who haven't got it, I really recommend this figure to you, and in my opinion it was well worth $10.99 despite my little complaint about the eye stalk. And that is all I have to say for this review, YouTubers. I don't know what I'll be reviewing next, but I would really like to do the Collect and Build Pandorica sometime soon, and definitely the Season 18 Tom Baker figure, which came with K9. And that is goodbye for now, YouTubers. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you again soon.